Hello, everyone. I'm back. Okay. Yesterday we talked about objectivity. Today I want to talk about flow. All right. What does that mean? Well, what I mean by flow is I mean there's a distinction between um, how it feels to move forward to what you desire and what it feels like to thwart your your desires with stuff, self limitations, like you having beliefs that you can't accomplish what you want to accomplish. Okay. I mean, yeah, obviously, this is very general. Okay. Very general. Okay. I want you to get accustomed to that feeling of what it feels like to move forward to your desire, and then, resisting, or, having frustrations and stuff that's the feeling that, you know, uh, uh, resisting, or holding back your flow causes, right? Like, it's almost like, slamming, trying to, what would I say? This is a boat analogy. So it's like, taking a speedboat full throttle out on a lake or something and throwing out an anchor, right? It's just that dragging holds you back. And that's what we're going to be talking about, how to distinguish between the two. Distinguish between the two, okay? All right. So, okay. This morning I was kind of I felt a little stagnant, like, meaning, I knew I wanted something. I wanted some sort of change, or I wanted, to feel productive, to feel forward moving. I wanted to feel that, the excitement, the inspiration that when you hold something in your mind that you're excited about, right? It feels so fresh. It feels so alluring. It feels so drawing of your attention to it, right? It feels like it's so, like, dude, it's just exciting, right? It's just like you can't get out of bed to do it. You know what I mean? Just like you want, just, it's exciting. It's fun, right? It's fun. And so at that particular moment, that kind of like that weird space I was in, that kind of like, I want to call it a holding pattern, or just that stagnant feeling, right, was basically, and this is where it's important, because I learned from my own self, and I learned from feeling how thoughts relate to my emotions. And because I fundamentally know, again, that health is happiness, okay? And when I'm not feeling happy, right? I mean, I don't have to be doing cartwheels and stuff like that, but happy where I'm like, glad, feeling good, feeling at peace, right? So if I'm below that, like, in any way where I'm like, I'm feeling like pressure, I definitely correct that, or I try to, at least as much as I can, because we may not know what we want, right? It's sometimes hard to pinpoint, right? God, man, we definitely know what we don't want. That's for sure. But the great thing about that, at least, is that there's only two things to it, right? One end is what you don't like, and the other end is obviously what you like, right? We just don't know what it is, right? So at least if you understand, kind of have that mechanic, or that just general image in your mind where you're like, okay, I definitely don't like what's going on, then what do I want? So the moment you start answering that question, or at least kind of looking in that general direction where you have turned your attention away from what you don't like, you start slightly feeling better. And that's really important to recognize, because that's the flow I'm talking about, right? That you can just literally feel that momentum, like that little shift within you. And so remember, in the previous videos, I talked about, getting my thoughts straight, right? So in other words, if I'm not feeling like super excited, or, if I'm not feeling the lightness of some sort of project to do, or something that I want to have, that I'm moving towards it, I feel kind of stagnant. And stagnant's a big word for me today. Used it quite a few times already. So stagnant, that feeling, I know, because I'm used to feeling the lightness and the happiness and stuff, that heaviness bothers me, right? So I know to correct that really quick, because if I don't, and I still, give that mind space to that whatever weird space I'm in, if I continue just cycling and thinking about it and thinking about it and giving it my energy and thinking about it, thoughts create the emotions then therefore kind of filter the thoughts that kind of coincide with that emotion. So it's a cycle, it's a feedback loop, right? So I make sure to catch it early, because there's a type of momentum in reality. There's a momentum where, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, we'll talk about this in another video, it's pretty interesting. The more you think about something, the more you feel about it, and the more you feel about it, the more you think about it, and the cycle goes and goes. And it'll, if you guys are familiar with PA systems or speakers with microphones and stuff, if you hold a microphone very close to a speaker, you start hear squelching sound. It gets louder and louder and louder, because it's gaining momentum, right? Because the microphone's picking up the loud sound, and now that's going to be amplified in the speaker, and then the microphone's going to pick it up, and you get it, right? So I shift from that dull feeling to immediately to, okay, man, what do I want? Because I don't have a target to move to. When I find that I'm bored, or I find that I'm just not, I don't feel like I'm moving towards what I want, or I have at least identified something that I want. It's not about shiny things. It's about feeling good too. It's an experience about enjoying yourself. It just doesn't have to be things. Okay. So for me, it's, this happy project is very important to me, and it breathes life into me, because I'm sharing with you what works for me, and I'm like, this is kind of like really special for me, because God, if it really can help you a little bit, dude, if it could if it can help you, maybe get you in the direction, moving in the direction that you pick up something else from some sort of other person, or whatever it may be, or it gets you on that road to feeling more in control of yourself, and knowing that you're in control, you're in control of your world, man, that's great, right? And that's what keeps me motivated through all this, right? And so not only that, but just projecting and expanding into that space of like, oh, I want to do this for you guys. I want to have this information out. I just have this crazy, this infinite flow coming of ideas through me, and I feel like I'm almost like a vessel, that it's my position right now, because it brings happiness to me to execute it, to do it, to fulfill it, right? So all right, so then earlier this morning, like I was telling you, I felt kind of feeling stagnant. Again, I said stagnant. And so so I started sitting down, I started penciling out some ideas of what I want, right? I want to reach out to you guys. I want to collaborate with other people that have you know, an audience that they can maybe share this information with, or even talking to them and understanding what they know and how they help, and you know, all these. It's exciting, man. It's another world for me, another world. So that gets my juices flowing, man. I get excited with that. And so, as you can probably see in my expression, it's exciting to me. And so that's what I'm talking about. That flow is intentional. Because I identified that I was in a lull, and I wanted not to be in that lull because I don't like lulls. I decided to say, okay, at that particular moment, I didn't know what I wanted, but I'm like, okay, what do I want to do, right? So that gets my mind answering that question, engages the mind, and the intention behind the thoughts start kind of shooting in a particular direction of helping you guys, or helping people in general, or just, you know, sharing, right? And so that shifted from that holding pattern to boom, it's like taking off like a thoroughbred out the gate at a race, right? And it's like boom. So I'm like, oh, all these ideas are popping in. Okay. So I'll start writing them down. I mean, your process is different. I mean, obviously it doesn't matter. You know, I'm just talking about myself, but I want you guys to get the general feel for what that feeling feels like, right? When you're bored, you know, generally when we're bored, it's kind of a very, very sensitive space, right? It's a sensitive space because most of the time we just jump onto something that entertains us, and that's important to maybe restrain from a little bit. Maybe spend a few moments trying to stimulate within yourself thoughts of what you want, right? Just spend some time, write some notes down, like write what you want, right? Just it helps to write a little bit too, because it engages the mind, the body, and all your senses to make sure that you're writing, you know, you're spelling everything right and stuff like that. That's a very physical, visceral process that harnesses your intention with your thoughts and your emotions. It calibrates you all into just a pinpoint, like a laser, to at least fulfill what you would that little task is at that particular moment, which is writing stuff down, right? Spend a little bit of time doing that before you jump onto a YouTube or whatever it is that you know entertains you. And so do that, because that little moment, that little, it's a little critical moment of decision when you catch yourself in that space and you deliberately decided to do something that gets you familiar with your thought processes, gets you familiar with your emotional process, gets you familiar with your energetic flow in that process, right? It's amazing, dudes. You know, it's amazing. Give it a try. Work with that flow, feel the flow, just start feeling within you. And then, you know, if you're not happy where you're at, then move your thoughts. Remember the three cores, right? The thoughts, the emotions, and the intentions. Get those going by asking yourself what you want, right? Because you definitely know what you don't want. So what do I want? And spend just a couple of minutes, man. You'll be amazed how, again, that momentum, that magnetism I was talking about, that feedback loop, that when you start thinking something that you like and it feels good, it gains momentum the more you start focusing. Oh man, that's a cool idea. Oh, that feels exciting. Oh, this popped up. Oh, that's even more exciting. Oh, it happens. That's just a natural process for us. And so all these videos I'm making, they're using the tools that you have at your disposal to work your magic. That's what they're for. And harnessing and recognizing them, and recognizing that they're your own, and you don't need anything outside of you to stimulate, to teach you, right? You don't need any of that. You're complete. You got everything. Obviously you're watching this video, I mean, whatever, but you know, this video just may be like, you know, the drop that tips over the bucket, right, to make you start flowing in the direction you want to go, and you'll forget about me and my job's done. It's perfect, right? Because it's to get you going. It's to get, if you can feel just a little bit of what I feel, man, I wish you guys can. And I know, hell, I mean, I wish sometimes I could feel whatever you guys feel too. But we're all in this together. So that's the purpose of all these videos, and the outreach and the processes. So this is the labor of love for you guys. All right, so flow, flow, flow. Feel it, love it, recognize it, and work with it, okay? And have a wonderful day. Peace, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I don't know what the next video is going to be about. It'll pop into my head right before I deliver it. Bye.